On MSNSportsNet.com, we welcome you inside the Pushkar Center. Tony Caridi along with Mountaineer head coach Dana Holgorsen as West Virginia has an off week and then a big week as they get set for the backyard brawl. People think off week, they think, well, heck, everyone goes on vacation, players just kind of stay away. Absolutely the opposite, isn't it?
Yeah, it's usually ends up being busier than the game week, because the game week's all about routine. You kind of know what to expect. You know, we're not really worried about too much about going out on the road and recruiting, and you just can get into a routine as far as what you expect the guys to do each week. So, you know, a couple of things that we'll do is we'll beef up their academic load a little bit and make sure that they're spending as much time as they can doing what they need to academically, and then you do have some recruiting things that you got to take care of. So, you know, a lot of guys will be out on the road 3 days this week getting out recruiting. And then in addition to that, you still got to get ready for your next game, and you still got to practice your team.
Yeah, and because that game is on a Friday, yet you don't literally have a full week of preparation. Before we talk about Pitt, you got your wish, didn't you, on Saturday, in that you wanted everyone to come together. You wanted offense, defense, special teams, everyone to be cheering on everyone, and it literally came down to that special teams play, but everyone was in that game differently, I thought, than in the past games.
Yeah, the sidelines were really good, you know, and we talked a lot about, you know, just being together, playing together, making sure that everybody was rooting for each other, and no matter what was happening, just keep playing, keep your spirits high, and at the end try to figure out a way to win. So it kind of played out exactly like we had hoped it would. You know, really thought we played pretty good defensively, and we made some plays. Offensively, not as good, but we still made enough plays to be able to score a few points, and then special teams really did some pretty good stuff.
Do you think that kind of a win, that style and that type of a win, can be that one thing that brings a team together?
Could be. Hoping so, you know. And the game's hard, you know, and if you're not pulling for each other, then I do think it gives the other team an advantage, so to speak. So, you know, coming off the Louisville game, we'd talked about it a bunch last week, just as far as wasn't happy about the energy, and as far as, you know, guys being excited to play and having a good time, you know, and thought we got that fixed, and I was really proud of how the guys responded to it.
Well, this coming game against Pitt is going to be kind of like LSU in the sense it's one of those ones where coaches don't have to worry about the guys getting fired up. How do you approach this one?
You know, it probably won't have to talk as much about, you know, the excitement level and the energy and all that. So it's back to schematically trying to do the best that we can to, you know, attempting to put our guys in the best position that you possibly can. We got lots of film on what Pitt does on all 3 sides of the ball, as they do with us, and they're going to be doing the same thing up at their place than we are down here. But really just try to get to know your opponent as well as you possibly can. Get your guys to understand exactly what to do. Put them in the best position that they can possibly be in, and then just go out there and let her go.
You mentioned against Cincinnati that there were some things offensively that just didn't click as well as you normally would like them. What are those things? What do you have to get better at here?
Well, it starts up front. You know, it always does. It starts up front, and we got to get better up front. You know, we didn't have our best game. We graded out extremely low, and we knew it was going to be a challenge. Cincinnati has challenging things up front with some guys and some backers that do some things. Their scheme was not the problem. We understood exactly where they were, what they were doing. We just didn't do things very well, you know. And if you don't control the line of scrimmage, you're going to be in for a long time.
All right, Coach. Here's the best for a good off week, and then up comes the backyard brawl.
Oh, it should be fun. My first one.
On MSNSportsNet.com, we welcome you back. Tony Caridi along with WVU Defensive Coordinator Jeff Casteel. What's an off week do for you this time of the year?
Well, I tell you what, we need to heal up. We're really banged up. We were banged up going into the Cincinnati game, and you know, so it really comes at a good time. And Dave and Tony and those guys in the training room are, you know, probably working over, but you know, we got a lot of guys banged up, and I'm sure Pitt does too, but it'll be good to get the kids rested up a little bit.
You know, it's one thing to have guys banged up and miss games, and I know you guys sit very quietly on these injuries. I mean, you guys had players out there against Cincinnati. When you see Keith Tandy slide down on an interception return because he's hurting so bad with a groin, and then you were already without Terrence Garvin, that had to be, from a come-together standpoint, a great moment for that unit.
Yeah, and you know, the injuries are part of the game, and you know, the kids understand, and that's, you know, it's important for the the kids that are the younger kids, the kids that are behind, those kids that are getting time. You prepare and really throughout the year, because you don't know when your number's going to get called, and when you do get your opportunity, there's a lot of people counting on you, and so you got to make the most of it. And the kids, we hung in there Saturday. It seemed like forever. The game lasted forever, but we hung in there and made some plays, and obviously got a big block at the end of the game, and so that was good. It was good for the kids, and hopefully we can build on it.
You've been practicing a long, long time this season. How do you run that trick here over the next week or so of giving them the rest that they need, but at the same time staying sharp and ready to go when Pitt comes in?
Well, I think that that's the balancing act. But the kids, we'll stay pretty much with the same routine that we have. We'll practice Tuesday and Wednesday. The kids will lift again Thursday, and then we'll get back in on the weekend. So, it's really the same routine. That's the problem with the open weeks and the bowl games. You get in a routine of playing every week, and then you have to jump out of there for 10 days or whatnot. But it really, at this point, I think it's probably good for us to get a little time to heal up.
Yeah. One final question here for you. When it comes to Pitt, you're going to be playing a team that kind of plays a little bit similar, right, to what West Virginia does. So a little bit of an advantage there as far as scheme and things like that. It's nothing totally new for you.
Well, I think that their tempo and those things are similar. They're a little differently. They like to run the football probably a little bit more than what we are right now. But it's a lot like Auburn. And so you're going to get a lot of different formations, and they try to manipulate and create angles, and a lot of play action pass, naked boot, and those type of things. So it's definitely going to keep us busy over the next 10 days trying to get ready for that. But they've got some good football players, and some of the coaches up there, and I know they're excited to come down to get a chance to come into Mountaineer Field. So they might have to sneak in our locker room and come out our tunnel.
It's going to be dark. It'll be a nice setting, right?
Yeah,
Under the lights is perfect.
Those guys have, good friends of ours, and we coached together for 7-8 years, and so I know it's going to be different for them to come down and coach on the other sideline, especially the Pitt West Virginia game.
Absolutely. Wish you the best.
All right, Tony.